So while the dry ice is getting cut, I'll just talk about the phase diagram. So normally water at 1 atmosphere, which is normal room temperature, it goes from solid and melts to water and then goes over here to a gas. And so it melts here, you can see at 0 degrees, and then it boils at 100. However, you can get it to sublime if you put it maybe in a vacuum and put it at like 0 pressure. The ice will just vaporize straight into a gas. Okay. Now with carbon dioxide, there aren't very strong attractions, and so it very easily goes from a solid to a gas. So you can see at 100, it goes along here. It's called sublimation, so it sublimes and goes straight from solid to a gas. Now, if you put it under a bit of pressure, you can actually get the particles to stick together and have a liquid phase. Okay, so it boils at, you can see here, at normal 100, it's around minus 80. And so the first trick we're going to do is we're going to get the carbon dioxide at minus 80 and make it the ethanol super cold. Ethanol won't freeze until it's minus 114. And so we get it super cold, maybe to around minus 80. And then we can put a leaf in there and the water in the leaf will freeze at 0, and you'll see that instead of being all nice and soft, the leaf will crack because it's instantly frozen. And so it just snaps and breaks off. You can see that, just snaps like that, and it doesn't bend. The next trick we're going to do is you've got universal indicator, so it's basic, and then what happens is the carbon dioxide reacts with the water and forms carbonic acid, and so it changes color and goes through the rainbow and becomes red, which is acidic. And so you can see here, as we're going to move into the next one, that the gas that comes off sinks, right, fills up the beaker and then flows off and drops to the bottom. So the next couple of tricks we're going to do is this one here. Is we're just going to collect the gas in a balloon, and instead of floating around, you can hit the balloons around like a volleyball. You'll find that the balloon just sinks and just drops like a lead balloon, but it's a carbon dioxide balloon. And so it just drops, it just sticks there and doesn't float around. The other thing you can do is put a little bit of soap in there, and the bubbles will also be weird. Instead of sort of floating up, you can see that the bubbles, they're heavy and they just sort of drop down and they fall over into the beaker. That's it. Okay, so knowing that carbon dioxide is heavier than air, you can see there the molecular weight. Sorry, I forgot to mention it's 44, whereas oxygen's 32 and nitrogen's 28. You can pour the carbon dioxide out over the flame and it puts it out because it doesn't have enough oxygen to react. So hydrocarbons won't work. And last trick, you can just grab it and it makes this screaming noise because the warm tongs, relatively warm, but they're not cause the gas bubbles to pop off, and so it vibrates and oscillates and goes back and forth, and so that's where the sound comes from.